Welcome, everybody. My name is Council Lady Brenda Haywood, and I'm the chair of the Rules Committee. And at this time, I detect a quorum, and we will get started. Again, we just appreciate you being here. It's April the 17th, of course, 2018. And before us, the first thing on our agenda is the elections and confirmations. We have none other than the Action Commission. We have the Community Corrections Advisory Board. We have the Board of Fair Commissioners. We have the Gas Mechanical Examiners Appeal Board. We have the Historical Commission, the Plumbing Examiners and Appeals Board. We have the Sports Authority, and we have the Board of Zoning Appeals. And at this time, we'll get started by calling the reappointment of Ms. Benita Davis for a term expiring February the 2nd of 2021. Ms. Benita Davis.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hello, how are you?
I'm good today. How are you?
Thank you for being here, and thank you for being willing to serve. If we would just start with you telling us a few things about yourself and what... Oh, no. To start by saying, are you a resident of Davidson County?
I am.
Okay. Are you a registered voter?
I am.
Do you serve on any other boards or commissions?
I do not.
Okay. Well, now that we do have that out of the way, thank you. If you would tell us a little bit about yourself and why do you think you were chosen to serve?
All right. Again, my name is Benita Davis. I currently am a regional supervisor for Middle Tennessee for Department of Human Services. I work with the Tennessee Business Enterprises, which is a program that assists work with blind entrepreneurs with the vending program under the Randolph-Shepard Act, which is above federal, state, and local municipalities, which gives us priority to have all the vending in the governmental facilities. So I manage that program locally. In the past, I've had a nonprofit organization that had training for low to moderate income persons for starting their own business, and also in job development and economic development, worked a lot with MDHA. So my background lends itself to the population. I've always had a love for that population, so and I've been working with them for 6 years and have thoroughly enjoyed the appointment and would like to continue.
Oh, thank you so much. That's fabulous. I just wonder, what have you enjoyed the most in terms of the Action Commission? What have you enjoyed the most?
The most is actually the participation with the board. It's a very strong board,
yes.
Very engaged with the activities, and the fact that we have participation by the actual recipients of the program on the board. So getting that firsthand knowledge from them also. So engaging with my peers on the commission, and again, we are very involved and fully enjoy working with the commission.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open it up to the committee members. Do you have a question? You're recognized.
Since Chair Lady asked you the most enjoyable thing, what's the most challenging thing you faced as a board while you're serving in the past?
Well, as we look at budgets like everyone else, that has always been the most challenging piece, is making things work within the scope of Metro.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Quite impressive.
Move to approve.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposers? It's been moved and seconded, and everyone's in favor. We grant you approval.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you
Get you
for
out of
your
the parking
service.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So did you call me earlier today, right?
Excuse me?
Did you call me?
I did.
I wanted to let you all know
Okay.
that Ms. Davis isn't going to be able to stay for the council meeting because she has another prior engagement, so just so you all can know about that.
Just Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be careful. Next, we have the Community Corrections, and she won't be here, with the Community Corrections Advisory Board, the reappointment of Mr. Eric Evans for a term expiring January the 18th of 2020. Are you here? Mr. Eric Evans. Okay. No? Maybe?
Yeah.
On the way?
Eric Evans isn't out here.
Eric Evans? He's here.
Oh, yes. There he is.
Eric, we were about to deem you absent.
I don't know, he wasn't. I'm here.
Alive and in living. Okay, first of all, I'd like to start by asking, are you a resident of Davidson County?
Yes, I am.
Are you a registered voter?
Yes, I am.
Do you serve on any other boards or commissions?
No.
Okay, and so you're up with the Community Corrections Advisory Board. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? And this is, of course, a reappointment, a little bit about the board.
Well, I run a nonprofit. I run a job training program for young men. I help them get jobs in the construction industry. I house them. I take them to and from work. A lot of my guys, they come from CCA and, the jail system. So I think that this appointment will be pretty cool to try to help on the other side as well.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
That's very impressive for a lot of reasons. I'm a retired teacher, and my last assignment was at the downtown jail, and I was engaged in trying to get jobs for young people, so that warms my heart. Do you have any other questions? Yes.
Just interested a little bit more about your program. The name of it is 413?
413 strong.
Okay, 413 strong. And how many young people do you bring in through your program?
We do a total of about 60 a year.
Okay.
We have 4 times a year that we have enrollment. We have January, then March, then May, and then July. And we don't do anything in the summertime with another enrollment because by the time the guys are ready for a placement on the job, it's October, November. No one is usually hiring around that time. So we start in January, get them coached up, and by March, they're ready.
And how do they find your program?
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
It's been word of mouth and dealing with different community centers as well as churches, just developing those relationships.
And I guess the last question would be, in terms of success rate, you're taking folks that have probably come through the incarceration process.
Some of them, yeah.
Okay. But in terms of them finding jobs and staying in jobs, the recidivism rate?
Yeah, I have a 100% job placement rate.
Good.
I have almost a 70% of guys staying committed to their job. And I think the last time I checked, it was like maybe 5% over recidivism rate. We try to stay on top of these guys. We try to make sure that they are well connected, not only about getting a job, because it's more to it than just getting a job. It's about stability and staying focused and becoming a stronger man. And these aren't just guys that's from the jail system. This is guys that's fresh off their mama's couch and they just don't know what to do with themselves. They got to do something. So this is a great opportunity, a great way for a young man to become successful.
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hey, we thank
good.
you so much. You said
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ran out.
I hear that. Next, we have the Gas Mechanical Examiners Appeal Board, and we have the reappointment of Mr. Michael Porter, for a term expiring January the 20th of 2022. Mr. Michael, are you present?
Michael Porter.
Okay, are you a resident of Davidson County? Are you a registered voter? Do you serve on any other boards or commissions?
No, I do not.
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself and this particular appeals board.
I am a mechanical engineer. I'm a professional engineer. I work for myself. I'm a sole proprietor. I grew up in contracting business in Dixon County since 1949. My parents have owned a contracting business, and I have a love of doing good work. I like to see the right things done and done well. And so when I had a chance to join this board, I jumped at the opportunity.
What do you see as the biggest challenge when it comes to the board?
The biggest challenge is to enforce the law gracefully. Because lots of people invest money in what they're doing, and they don't like to have negative news. On the other hand, these laws are passed by good folk doing the right thing, and the inspectors are doing good work, so the law has to be followed, but we have to make sure we understand their motivations.
That's good. Question? How like you said, enforcement gracefully.
How long have you been on the board?
Gingerly.
This is my first reappointment.
First reappointment, so you served 4 years?
Yes.
So your board is meet as needed, I believe, or pretty.
Yes, we have a standing meeting once a month. I think it's the second or third Tuesday of each month. And if there's business to transact, we'll meet. If not, then we'll pass to the next meeting.
What was the most interesting meeting you have attended?
Today, as a matter of fact. Yeah, as a matter of fact, today. We had 3 cases, which is unusual, 3 at a time. But we resolved them to their satisfaction. And they can go about their business, and we can go about building Nashville.
That's great.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about coming to this
Yeah, I
meeting.
thought
If you had said that, it would have been unanimous approval. But
Any other questions from the committee? Any other questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
second.
All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, we move to approve.
Thank you so
We
much.
thank you so much for your service.
Thanks.
Next, we have the Board of Fair Commissioners, and we have the reappointment of Ms. Erin.
McAnally.
Yeah, McAnally. I got that part. Pronounce your first name. Erin, okay, because it's, okay, McAnally. Okay, are you a resident of Davidson County?
I am.
Are you a registered voter?
I am.
Do you serve on any other boards or commissions?
I do not.
Okay, tell us a little bit about this board and your affiliation.
I have been on the board for 3 years. I serve as vice chair now and was recently nominated to serve again. That vote will be in June. I have really enjoyed my time. My professional background is largely in marketing and events, and as well as running some small businesses. So I have a little bit of HR background. So I've been able to be involved with the board and with the staff in terms of helping with events and marketing. Also oversaw the hiring of Ms. Womack for the board. So I've really enjoyed it and would love to do it again.
Okay, what's your greatest strength? The greatest strength you bring to the board?
Well, I went to grad school for conflict negotiation. So I don't know that that's my greatest strength, but I do try to call those skills. Definitely. It is there's a lot of conflict surrounding it. So I think my greatest strength is hearing all sides of the story and trying to piece together the way to move forward with all the information.
Okay, let's open it up to the committee members. Okay.
Go ahead.
At some point, you probably can't answer this. At some point, if we could hear from the administration about the legislation that was passed, I know in the Senate today regarding some kind of nonprofit or some commission that's going to oversee the state fair and that type of thing, and what effect that has and how that plays into us here, that would be great to get a little bit more analysis on that. I'm sure y'all know what bill I'm talking about. If you could just keep us updated on how that affects what y'all are able to do.
Okay, Councilman Mendez.
Hey, thanks for coming. So with everything that's going on out there, especially with the soccer stadium, there's things that I worry about, and I'm curious just to hear your thoughts, and we don't get a chance to talk to y'all very often, so this is it. One thing that I get concerned about sometimes is whether we're going to wake up in 5 years and find out that the sports authority really runs the fairgrounds as opposed to the fair board running the fairgrounds. Do you have thoughts about how to maintain the fair board as the actual authority for the fairgrounds as opposed to the sports authority?
Certainly, I think that's it's understandable for sure. I think that focusing on our existing uses, it is a large property. There's a lot of potential for us. Our facilities have been in disrepair for so long. So being able to look at the property in a new way with money to to provide for those existing uses. I mean, I think that we can coexist on that property well, and I also am really excited by the prospect of there being soccer and racing on the property at the same time, and the flea market. I think that it will bring more attention to the property, and I think that we can coexist nicely.
So coexist sort of suggests a treaty of equals, which again sort of feeds into my concern that we're going to wake up in 5 or 10 years and find out that the Sports Authority runs a big chunk of that property instead of you guys. Are you envisioning that's treaty of equals running the place, or it's the Fair Board running the place?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't envision that yet because we are not to that place. I hope that the Fair Board maintains the authority over the existing uses. I mean, that's what we're aiming for.
And a tenant using the soccer stadium with the Fair Board in ultimate authority over the fairgrounds. You commit to that for me?
I mean, there's a lot of bodies that have to vote on that,
I know,
including you.
I'm talking about your vote on it. I mean, are you committed as a Fair Board member to have the Fair Board be the primary authority for the fairgrounds, as opposed to ceding control of part of it to the Sports Authority?
I don't know that decision is up to our board.
How will you vote if it comes up to you?
Well, I don't know what the parties will look like at that point. I don't know. That would, I'm assuming, come from council.
I'm pretty sure you guys are going to get to vote on it. Let me ask about this other one. The traditional uses, I'm particularly concerned about racing and the flea market. I'll talk a little bit about each. The flea market has got a traditional schedule of a particular weekend that the vendors rely upon because they're on a traveling circuit. And I know that there's lots of professional sports leagues, like in Chicago, the Chicago Bulls and the Blackhawks both are on the road for the entire month of November because the circus is in their building. And the NBA and the NHL managed to schedule around an entire month of road games for 2 professional, major league professional sports teams. And I want to know whether you're committed as one of the Fair Board members to make it so the flea market will be able to maintain their traditional scheduling on the same weekend that they've been at.
For sure. We're hugely committed to that. I know Laura's been working on it really hard so far, and it's definitely a priority. It is our #1 moneymaker. It's a huge part of the city of Nashville. I'm personally a fan of it. I will do everything within my power to keep that.
And then on racing, do you have a sense yet whether the scheduling conflicts are going to be whatever the soccer league says the games comes first and racing's got to fill in, or is there going to be some compromise involved? Do you know what the dispute resolution is going to be for schedule conflicts?
I do not know what the dispute resolution will be.
Do you know how that's going to be resolved?
I don't know how it will be resolved. I know that I've heard that there's commitment from their side. Obviously, our priority is racing, but I've heard that there's commitment from their side to working that out. So
are you committed, if you get the opportunity to vote on this, to ensure that it's not soccer schedule trumps and there's actual dispute resolution mechanism that's fair?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Do you think your master's degree will help you in that conflict management?
I'd like to recognize Councilman.
Did you had your hand up before me? Did you have a question?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think Councilman Mendez's questions were
Right on.
on point. We worry about this.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've all been involved in the voting on it, but I think there's also I guess an understanding about how important the flea market is and how important the events are that are the Speedway and those things.
Absolutely.
One of the things that at some point it might be relevant for everybody to get together, your board, the Sports Authority, to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Absolutely. We've already talked about putting that plan in motion.
And I mean, I know most of us continue to stress that we got to figure out how to make all this stuff work.
Absolutely.
So, and we're watching it, and people are pushing us, and it's important.
It is important,
We want to make sure it's
absolutely.
done
I
right.
think that there's a lot of potential for amazing developments within our existing uses because of it happening on the property. I think that we can turn that and make it really beneficial for the existing uses.
Well, and I appreciate that. I think this has it has tremendous potential.
Mm-hmm.
It can also go the other way.
Sure.
But working together, using innovation, coming up with good ways to make this stuff work.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can come up with something that we all look back and go, wow, that really did work. And so I'm pushing. I'm pushing for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, okay, Council Lady.
And I appreciate, all the question and answer from fellow council member, from Council Member Mendes. And on following up on that, because it is a tremendous opportunity and everybody's watching it, and definitely we all believe it can be coexist, but somebody has to take lead to protect those traditional fair and people who are involved with those fair associations. So to accomplish that, do you have any idea as a fair board how you should function to those take charge for the future of the fair?
Well, first and foremost, if this plan goes through as it is creating the best facilities that we possibly can for our existing uses. Right now, our facilities don't cover our existing uses. We need help, and we've needed help for a long time. So this providing that opportunity to sort of dream big and figure out where on the property we're going to place these things and how we're going to operate, how cars are going to be parked and all that stuff. It is a great opportunity. So I think utilizing this time to plan, to take community input and to piece it together is really exciting.
I just had a quick comment
Yes,
to make.
Council Lady.
Because he had some of the same questions that he mentioned about who would have authority over the property. I would think it would be a good idea if the Fair Board start vetting some of that out. I think it would help me personally in my any further voting on funding a soccer stadium is to have like something in writing that's agreed upon, that's final, that I can show my constituents, because a lot of my constituents, they're indifferent about soccer, to be quite honest with you. They like soccer, but if I ask them what their priorities are, it's retaining the fairground, the flea market is something that's reminiscent of old Nashville, or just Nashville in general. And the fairgrounds historically has been a place for working class people.
Certainly.
So when we talk about enhancing the space, we've seen what happened to the farmers market when it was enhanced. A lot of your everyday working class people were displaced. They're down on Noblesville Pike, set up on the corners selling their fruit because we enhanced the farmers market and they were displaced. And so I am really concerned about, when we go to this enhancement and we have this money and we can do all these great things, what that means for just everyday common folks. Are we going to go through a similar situation where we enhance it so much that it's now this new farmer's market and it's handmade and homemade, and I don't want your candles homemade here. I want, this vendor who makes, his Nashville trendy stuff and the community sign versus the lady who's been there 40 years who sold fruit there. So I think, those are some things to take in consideration as we make decisions about that. And I agree. I do not think that the Sports Authority should have, necessarily priority over scheduling. I think things should be scheduled around the existing things that we have on the calendar there. But I know how they do. They say, can you move it to this week because we'll give you this money. And I think it just needs to be kind of said, with our master gardeners, we have our lawn and garden show there. I want to make sure that that is still there, is included, and is a priority, just like the flea market and those other things. So having some type of a memorandum of understanding, or really just an agreement. Maybe we need to draft legislation to go with the Sports Authority and the soccer, whatever, to create some type of understanding. But it would help to have guidance from from you guys and the Sports Authority with us coming up with something.
And I really do understand all that has been said, because when you think about the fairground, it's been there for as long as I can remember, and you think about the genesis of it and trying to maintain the organic integrity of it, like you're talking about the young ladies, just trying to maintain that. And as Councilman Mendez said, I think he was just trying to get some type of verbal commitment that you do endorse maintaining that integrity and not, not allowing anything to come and impede that, because things do get lost. It's kind of like gentrification sometimes, people come in and next thing you know, you're gone and you don't even realize sometimes what happened. So just maintaining the genesis, just what you have there is it's very important, and it's not even very important to a few people. I think it's important to the masses.
Absolutely. For sure. It's a huge priority. Absolutely. There's a lot of misinformation that surrounds our board as well. So I think
in terms of misinformation, I really appreciate you saying that. One thing that you would deem misinformation, what would that be?
That we're not committed to the flea market. We're very committed to the flea market. We're very committed to the existing vendors. We're very committed to it continuing to be a huge part of the city of Nashville. And we just signed a 5-year contract with racing. We're also committed to that community, and we're committed to the structure itself. We're committed fully to that. So I think that a lot of times there's spin on that, and we work really hard to.
Councilman Mendez?
I would ask you to consider that it's not necessarily misinformation. I think if I was going to describe it, I would say that there is a sense that if there's enough momentum to have the Sports Authority essentially running the fairgrounds, that 5 volunteer appointees who are being generous enough to spend their time doing it, which we all appreciate. If there's a choice between going along with where the momentum is versus having to take a stand on something, that y'all get steamrolled.
For sure.
And so I don't think it's that we don't believe y'all's heart is in it. I think there's a concern of, if there's anything that I think you should take from this is there's at least this bunch of council members who would much rather the 5 of you, no matter what the political pressure is, to stand the ground and say the fair board is for the fair board running the fairgrounds.
Certainly.
And if there's tie doesn't go, Sports Authority's not the runner. Tie goes to Fair Board. And that's the way the ultimately negotiated contracts need to run, even if you all got to vote against political pressure.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to stand up. Certainly.
Is there a motion?
I move.
You move? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposers? No opposers. I think all is in favor.
Thanks for your service.
We move
Thank
to
you so
approve.
much.
Thank you. Thank you for your answers. We really appreciate you. Next, we have the Historical Commission, the reappointment of, make sure I get this name right, Mr. Don Cusick?
Cusick, yeah.
Cusick? That's good. Cusick? Okay, for a term expiring February the 2nd of 2022. Tell us a little bit about, I love this commission, your Historical Commission, and your reappointment. Oh, are you a resident of Davidson County? Yes. Are you a registered voter? Do you serve on any other boards of commissions? Okay, so now you can tell us a little bit.
Okay, I teach at Belmont University. I teach about history of the recording industry. Have been involved in the industry, and mainly my involvement, activities with history come with mostly from country music, but I've written a lot of books. Wrote one on James Weldon Johnson. Wrote one on Winston Churchill and his love of music, but primarily on country music, and been involved in the Music Row.
How long have you been at Belmont?
Since '94.
Okay, all right. Do we have any questions? Anybody? Well qualified.
I do.
We do.
Very important question. So you wrote a book about based upon country music?
Yes.
Is that right? So Who wrote the song? That's not the name of it, but it's
No, but the lyric.
Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play.
John Fogerty.
John Fogerty.
He was with Creedence Clearwater Revival for a while.
You already know?
No, he was correcting our name, of course, and where you put the comma. But you knew
Sorry,
that off
put
the
a
top of
comma.
your head. I move for approval.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we approve you. Thank you so
See how
much.
easy we can be when
Thank you so
needed to know that.
Next, we have the Plumbing Examiners and Appeals Board. The reappointment of Mr. Tommy Krantz for a term expiring March 10th of 2020, and appointment of Mr. John Olert, a term expiring February 15th, 2019. Mr. Olert will fill the unexpired term of Mr. Matthew Clark.
Got both of us up here?
Please.
They're gonna get us at once.
Yeah.
Don't y'all cheat off each other's tests.
You probably are.
Okay, are both of you residents of Davidson County?
Yes.
You're registered voters?
Yes.
Serve on any other boards or commissions?
No.
Okay, who would like to start? Tell us a little bit about yourself and this board.
I've been in the plumbing business for about 30 years now. It's a family-run business. My father started in '78. He retired about 8 years ago, and I took it over. He was on this board, and when he was ready to retire, he's ready to retire all of it. So I stepped up and took the position. And
You were before us a year and a half ago?
yeah, about a year ago.
About a year ago, Okay,
John Olert.
okay.
And I've been a registered mechanical engineer since 1980 and currently have my own business located in Berry Hill. I've been on the Gas and Mechanical Appeals Board for 8 years, and I was chair of that committee. And then more recently, I just rotated off the Fire and Building Codes Appeals Board, and I was chair of that committee. So I think that the Codes Department has trouble finding professional engineers to serve on this board, on any of these boards related to codes. And so they called me, and so here I am again. So I've been on board for 16 years. And,
It's hard to find engineers.
All right.
well, it is to find professional engineers who live in Davidson County.
Sure. Any questions from the committee?
I just, Mr. Oler, I think you need to get a better picture.
This is me. Well,
You.
here,
It looks just like you.
would a selfie do?
You bet your match.
I'm sorry.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposers? We move for approval.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so
There you go,
much.
Mr. Oler.
Both of you.
Oh, yeah, very important.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, next we have the Sports Authority, the appointment of Jad Duncan. Jad Duncan, a term expiring February the 20th of 2024. Are you a registered voter in Davidson County?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means you are a resident of Davidson County.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
serve on any other boards or commissions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your appointment.
Well, I'm Jad Duncan,
So get me the wheels.
and I'm a private attorney in Nashville and the Bellevue community. I've been an attorney for 13 years as of this year. I served as the president of the Bellevue-Harpeth Chamber of Commerce for 2 years after Sherry Weiner. And so really, I'm really excited to jump on this board. I've actually served on a commission before. It was the CATV Special Committee, which I rolled off of in, I believe, 2014 or 13, I can't recall. But so I'm familiar a little bit with the process, but I'm really excited because I feel like marrying the ideas of being an attorney and having an eye to look at leases and some of the business aspects of the facilities and working with the professional franchises that we have here in Davidson County, along with my expertise, and I say expertise, with my experience with the Bellevue Harpeth Chamber and understanding the economic impact of those franchises and understanding economic development, I feel like all of those things, along with the fact that I love sports, will help me out to really serve the board well.
Okay, let's open it up for questions, Councilman.
I would just say, it pains me to say it, but Chad is a stand-up guy. He's been a leader in the community with schools, with the chamber, and in other aspects, youth sports, and grown-up sports, and he's going to do a great job on this board.
Wow.
That's huge coming from David.
I know.
Anytime David speaks, I mean, like, that's just, nobody is good enough. Can you rewind in our recorder so we can keep this?
That's good.
That's a
That's
compliment.
good. So that's quite a compliment. Kudos, accolades, all that
Thank you.
good stuff.
Thank you, David.
Any other questions? Oh,
Sure.
we have one
More.
I highly ditto.
from our vice mayor.
I highly ditto what
Okay.
Councilmember Rosenberg just shared. We got a good one.
Thank you.
I move
Move for approval.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Any opposers? Well, you have been confirmed, approved,
Next,
and all
there
of
you
the
go.
above.
Save
Thank
it
you
because
so
I parked
much.
somewhere else other than there.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Next, we have the Board of Zoning Appeals, the reappointment of Ms. Cynthia Chappelle for a term expiring February 26, 2023. And she's here today, and so she's going to be deferred to our next meeting. Okay, can we,
Move to defer.
second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, that's all of our elections and confirmations, and at this time, good. We'll just do it like this. Yeah. At this time, we have Resolution RS 2018-1552, Haywood and Rosenberg, refer to rules, confirmation, public, confirms the appointment of Jack Duncan to the Board of Directors of the Sports Authority of the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you. Okay, and then, thank you, okay, yeah. Next, we have Resolution RS 2018, and that refers to the rules, confirmation, and elections, sets the date and time for the 2018 State of the Metro Government Address, and that is going to be May the 4th at 10 o'clock at the downtown library.
Move approval.
Would it be inappropriate to move an amendment to make it like 11 p.m. that night? Different day?
Bless you.
Or is that generally discouraged?
You take that up with the mayor.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, could we do that, please? Thank you so much. Second, we'd like to take it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposers? No opposers. Okay, then so moved. All right. Next, we have Resolution RS 2018-1154. That's Allen, Swope, and others. And that's to dissolve the special committee established pursuant to Resolution number RS 2018-1039 and requesting the Office of Internal Audit to present a report and recommendations to the full Metro Council, Council Lady Allen.
She had to step out to go do announcements,
Okay.
and she asked me to address it, although
Do you think
Councilman
you're qualified?
Well, Councilman Rosenberg points out that I'm not a sponsor,
You can sign on to it.
so
Excuse me. Can he step out and sign on to it real quick?
Or I could step out and grab her, or
Okay, we'll do that, and we'll just move on, and then we'll come back to that one. You go ahead and do that, okay? Next, we have Resolution RS 2018, that's Davis and Scott, and it honors the Davidson County Sheriff's Office for sponsoring the Music City Tackles Mental Health Summit. Scott Davis?
I did sign on. I signed on as a sponsor to this. so
Okay,
Move approval.
okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposers? Okay. Okay, Council Lady Virtue. Anybody on,
She was just in here.
She was on 11:59?
Let me go check.
No, it's all
11:56.
11:56. She had to go do the announcements also. I'm not sure if there are other sponsors on that one.
Want to go get her?
Yes,
We can move on to Ms. Henderson.
we'll move on to Resolution RS 2018. I think that council person is present, 1157, that's Shulman. It honors the local athletes representing Nashville and Davidson County in the 2018 Special Olympics USA Games in Seattle, Washington as part of the Metro Parks Disabilities Program and Special Olympics Nashville. Councilman Shulman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we had gotten a notice from the Parks Department that we have a group of 10 athletes representing Special Olympics that are going to Seattle to compete. And so when I saw it, it's like I asked Parks Department, I said, shouldn't we recognize these folks? And they said, sure. So I'd love for, there's an old way of doing it in the state legislature where you just ask everybody to sign on. So I don't know if we can do that or not. Is that a possibility or not?
Jim, can you repeat that?
So this is the Special Olympics one where you just ask everybody to sign on as co-sponsors and everybody signs on.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if I need to call it, get it off of the consent calendar, just ask everybody to sign on as co and see if everybody's okay with that. Okay. It's just recognizing that these are 10 special folks who are going to represent Nashville in the Special Olympics.
Okay. Move, second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, no opposers. So moved.
Virtue's on her way.
Okay, she's on her way. And in the meanwhile, we have a proposed amendment, and this is rule number 3, proposed amendment adding arts to the Parks, Library, and Recreation Committee. And I was in a meeting of the Executive Committee when we discussed adding arts to the Parks, Library, and Recreation Committee. Could I have a motion?
So move.
Could I have a second?
Second.
Okay, everybody in favor? Okay,
All right.
thank you. So that's
So-
that one?
All we did was add that to every place that shows up in the code.
Yeah, and I think all of us were there. Yeah, I think everybody.
Okay.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that. Alan spoke and others, okay.
He has gone to locate another sponsor to sign it, so.
Okay, do we have anybody that I've already called president?
So now we've got, are you on Tanaka's?
She's on
Tanika and mine, I'm a co-sponsor,
Okay, so this-
11:59.
You're a co-sponsor, which one?
11:59.
Okay. Okay. A resolution approving the application for Active Tafana.
Atafama Archaeological Park.
That was fairly close. Archaeological Park grant from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation to the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Parks and Recreation Department to begin the development and implementation of the park master plan. Oh,
Do I need to?
no, you're fine.
Okay. This is a late filed resolution, and I was just here to explain why this was an emergency.
That's right.
And this is a grant application that the Parks Department and others have worked on very hard. It is 1,500 pages. It was a very onerous grant, and people were working on it very diligently, and it was filed, but just needed some review time from, I believe, our legal department. And this is a grant program that only happens every other year, and so our deadline is swiftly approaching.
So it's time sensitive?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Good with everybody?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. It's been approved. Okay, at this time, we have Resolution RS 2018, thank you, 1154, that's Alan Swope and others. And it dissolves a special committee established, that's our special committee, pursuant and requesting the Office of Internal Audit to present a report and recommendations to the full Metro Council. Councilman Swope.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
This committee was originally intended to look at a much wider scope than it ended up looking at. for all intents and purposes. Between our first and second meetings, obviously the mayor of the city resigned, which basically took a lot of our scope away. 2 weeks ago, we presented a resolution basically saying, are we going to hire outside counsel or not? Council voted no. So as a consequence, that left only Mark Swan, the internal auditor's work to be done, and his work can be, and we are recommending that his work be done and reported to the Internal Audit Committee, which would then report to the Executive Committee of the Council. And if, at that point, anything needs to be done, the Executive Committee will recommend to the full Council at large further action.
Okay. Okay, committee, comments,
Just
discussion?
Two quick things. The internal auditor, Mark Swan, was there at the committee meeting, and everybody on the committee agreed to urge him that the disbanding of this committee wasn't to be taken as a message to back off, and that he should do his full job. And then, it'll also be distributed, the internal audit report, to all council members. So if any individual council member feels like action's necessary, they don't necessarily have to wait for the executive committee to act. But if the executive committee feels like action's required, they'll hand it to a committee or committees to address.
That's important to know. Okay, any other discussions, comments?
Move it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, it's been approved. We have one more, and that is...
Thanks, Robert.
That's everybody. Resolution RS 2018-1156, Council Lady Burchard. And it raises awareness by recognizing April of 2018 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Council Lady Burchard.
Thank you, Chair. I like coming up here to sit.
Okay, if we like for you, come up here. Okay, could you just explain?
Well, yes, the caption is pretty much self.
I was going to say it's self-explanatory.
Second. We don't even need to vote. It's just
okay.
valid.
It's a race.
We support you.
Okay, your support, you got it like that, okay? But that, like you say, that is self-explanatory. Can't see anybody taking issue with this one. Can you all? I think, again. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well, we so moved. Thank you so
She's trying to
much.
come in here a lot. I think we should make her an honorary member of the committee.
I know. I love her to come. She comes so cheery-faced. Okay, at this time, if there's no further discussion, we
Move to adjourn.
move to adjourn. We stand adjourned.
I got that teacher voice there.